Chapter 4. This is where things start to get interesting. This is about releasing your music. This is my favorite chapter so far that I've read. The other three have been, interesting and informative, but this is where we start to get to the really actionable stuff. So one of the first points that Ari makes in this book is do not approach releases like a major label does. They have a lot of advantages. One would really be money. For example, Def Jam spent $1 million to release one Rihanna song, and you can't compete with that. But the one competitive advantage that you do have is you're nimble. You're a small organization of 1 to 5 people, and you can change tactics as soon as you see that something is not working. You don't have to dump $100,000 into something to realize it's not working. You can put $5 into Facebook ads and see that people aren't engaging, and you change your target market. So that's one advantage that you really have. It starts off with defining what it means to be an artist. So if you want to be a songwriter, you can be a songwriter and get a publishing deal and write songs for other people. If you want to be a musician, you can go on tour with bands and follow your employer on stage and be a talented musician. But if you want to be an artist, you can't just play the part. You have to be that artist. And I think that's a really pertinent point to make. And he talks a lot about creating the artist world and the artist vision and the artist aesthetic and making this all like a cohesive piece. And this is something that you should consider before you start releasing. His analogy is politicians don't begin their campaigns without a platform. Ask, what do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you stand against? And creating an aesthetic as well. He has a really cool idea of like creating a vibe board where you pin images that feel like your music or remind you or inspire you of your music. And I think that's such a cool thing. You can put it up in your songwriting space at home as well. Your story, where you come from, what you've overcome to become an artist. And all of these things will evolve, of course, over your time as an artist, but you need to come up with a captivating story for your vision and for your image so that everything is cohesive. These are all tools for you to create and express that vision, but it has to be authentic because there's so many moving parts in creating your vision and creating your aesthetic, creating your world, creating your story and your live show and your videos, that if it doesn't come from a deep place, there's going to be little hypocrisies and contradictions throughout all of these different forms of messaging to your audience, and people pick up on that very quickly. So you have to make sure that it comes from an authentic place and that it's all congruent with one another. And I love the idea of building this like brand and this vision and the aesthetic, and I love all of that stuff. When an artist has all those pieces working together, it just brings it to another level for me. Someone like Yelawolf, like, I know he's had some pretty serious controversies, but the way that everything fits together is really incredible. I think he's probably one of the best in popular music to be doing like a really unique vision and aesthetic, and it's so congruent in everything that he does. Something that he breaks down in the book, and like I said in the past couple videos, sometimes he goes really in depth on little things that I don't feel like I need to go in depth on. But he talks about how to create great looking videos on a budget, and if you don't know how to do that, again, get the book and read it. It gives you a blueprint on how to be a successful indie artist. Now that you have your vision and your aesthetic and what you want to do and how you want to express yourself, it's time to get into the technicals. And something that I've been talking to a lot of artists over the past few months, and this is why I want to do these videos, and this is why I'm working on some of the things that I'm working on in my business. It's like, there's no album cycle anymore. People aren't making like an album every however many years. Like, that's not the thing to do necessarily. So should you release a single, an EP, or an album? There's a quote from the book that says, if you're going to make an album, there better be a reason for me to give a shit. You better have something to say. You better be trying to shake something up or be doing something really interesting if you want to be making an album. Don't just make an album because that's what you think you should be doing. You can do EPs, you can do singles and roll them out really well and build an audience that way. This is where he really breaks something down. Album/project release timeline. 8 months. 8 months before you release. Should be launching your pre-order, your crowdfunding campaigns before you even step into the studio. 5 months pre-release. If you're gonna do vinyl, order the vinyl. Route the tour, album artwork, liner notes, promo photos. Route your tour. Get your record release show booked 3 months prior to release. Choose your lead singles. Order CDs if you're doing that. Get the videos going. Get all your info up on allmusic.com. And start your record release show promo. This is all 3 months in advance. How many of you are doing that? How many artists are doing that? I don't know many. But if you do this, you'll be ahead of the curve and actually be putting money in your pocket. 2 months ahead. Hit up the local press for your release show. Set up your pre-order and pick your distro company. 1 month. Get your website rocking, get it new and on brand. Release your first single. Send out crowdfunding packages. Launch your pre-order and have a listening party. Submit to Spotify for playlist inclusions. That's huge. And run contests as well, which can be a super fun way to boost engagement online. 2 weeks, do an email blast with time discounts. 1 week, drop your second single. Upload everything to Bandcamp, YouTube, SoundCloud on private. Send out an email blast again. The day before you drop, create the email blast with all the links and everything. Triple check all your links. Change the pre-order and update your merch. Release day. Update your Smart URL. Release YouTube, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. Release behind the scenes video and publish everything to your website. Send out another email blast and live stream your release show. The week of, more contests, seek out playlists, direct marketing campaigns, be checking your pixels, etc. Month after, release a new video which will give your project more legs. New single with new blog outreach, etc. Monitor and adjust your direct marketing campaigns. So like, be checking your Facebook ads, make sure that you're not blowing crazy money. Now, he says that this is just a guideline, so experiment, be creative. You're creative, so be creative. But also, like, if you followed this to the T, I'm sure you'd probably be doing a better release than what you've done in the past. So think about this kind of stuff. And in the book, he had some really incredible examples of really creative marketing. Think outside the box, you're creative, be creative. And that's it for chapter 4. And I think it's such a good chapter. And I hope that you're getting value out of these. So yeah, thanks for listening and take care.